polls to vote for a president and members of the National Assembly in a historic event that is the 5th quadrennial election to be held since the end of the military rule in 1999. In Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, voting materials arrived some of the polling units. Our correspondents visited various areas including Ikeja, GRA and Ifako, where accreditation had already started. Residents in Ifako are seen queued up in orderly manner, while INEC officials pass on final instructions on election processes. And in Cross River State, South Nigeria, election materials have also arrived at some of the polling units, where residents waited patiently for accreditation to begin. In Plateau State, North Central Nigeria, INEC officials are seen trying to sort out election materials. All the way to Edo State now, accreditation started early and all is orderly. Mixed reactions trail the accreditation process in Imo State as materials arrived some polling centers as early as 8 a.m., while some polling units up till this time of filing this report have not yet witnessed the presence of any INEC official. Well, to Katsina State in Nigeria's northwest region, the presidential candidates of the All Progressives Congress, General Muhammadu Buhari, and his wife have already been accredited in his hometown in Daura. Our correspondent, Loki Isaude, in this report, says that turnout of voters in the state is quite impressive.
8 on the dot, accreditation started from here, and as you can see behind me, so many people are waiting to get accredited. General Buhari, the presidential candidate of one of the parties, arrived to this polling unit. This is Kofa Baru polling unit at 8:39, and he came with some of his aides and others who are still waiting to be accredited. On our way to this place, we left Katsina at about 6 a.m. We saw a lot of unmanned checkpoints on the way. No security men, but everything so far has been peaceful. The environment peaceful, people queuing up orderly. In some of the villages we passed through before getting to Daura, we saw eligible voters already waiting for INEC officials. It shows that there is a lot of enthusiasm about this election. People are ready to vote. And from this ward alone, where we're expecting 744 registered voters, before 8 a.m., many of the voters had joined the queue, waiting for INEC officials to start. Kofa Baru 003 has two different polling units. That's the registration area, Serikin Yara. We have Serikin Yara A and Serikin Yara B. General Muhammad Buhari is going to cast his vote here at Serikin Yara A, which is the registration area. And this registration area, as I said earlier, has 744 voters.
The president has finally been accredited at his ward in Otsuoke in Bayelsa State. President Goodluck Jonathan returned to the polling unit after the fourth card reader failed to recognize his thumbprint. And he was then made to fill an incident form before he got accredited. This also applied to his wife. But despite that, the president has advised the electorate to exercise patience no matter the hitches. He says it is important that this presidential election is free, fair, and credible.
Materials arrived here, I told you, at 8:30, and it took them about 30 minutes to get all the materials sorted out to the 39 wards here, to the different units. This unit where the president is being attended to is right in front of his country home. It's called Unit 13, the Otazi Playground Unit. The card reader is not behaving itself. They had to produce another card reader.
That's the third one.
And what the president is exhibiting here is patience. The first card reader failed. The second card reader failed. The third one failed. They brought the fourth one.
What are you trying to do this way?
The president has finally been accredited and is leaving to his house where he is having some rest, relaxed. You can see how relaxed he is now.
PVCs that have some issues, because I'm not a ghost voter, my wife's not a ghost voter. So we just completed the incident report. So I'll ask Nigerians to be patient. If you have problems with their PVCs, of course there are some options. At least the PVC will help to reduce issues of maybe excessive accreditation and so on. So let us be patient with INEC. I think the elections will be very, very successful.
Your Excellency, this bears credence to the criticism that followed the PVC.
Well, because it's new. It's new. So anything new, you must have challenges. I think as we progress, it will be better.
The accreditation was not done via the card reader now. They produced the incident list. That is what they call it. And since his name is on the incident list with the wife, no problem. But Nigerians here in Otoke are getting the accreditation done.
Well, residents of the Federal Capital Territory turned out en masse to vote their candidates in the presidential elections taking place nationwide. Electoral materials failed to arrive before 8 o'clock at some polling centers within the metropolis. Our correspondent Gloria Umezuki reports that although there was heightened security presence, proper accreditation commenced at 10 o'clock, while voting is scheduled to start at 1 p.m.
We're here at the Government Secondary School, Tudunwada, here in Wuse, Zone 4, and we have been here for well over 2 hours. The INEC officials did not come as scheduled, and they came just about 20 minutes ago when people here had waited for well over 1 hour 30 minutes, and when they eventually arrived, confusion started because the people on ground had numbers taking, to aid the process of voting and accreditation. But as soon as the officials arrived, they had their own methodology, which is really not working. The major challenge right now is that the verification process and accreditation has begun, but the card readers appear to be failing. In the midst of all the chaos, security officials, men from the Nigeria Police Force, the Federal Safety Corps, immigrations, and the rest of them are all milling around, trying to make sure there is calm. And definitely people are agitated at the moment because many feel they will be disenfranchised if the card readers continue to misbehave or if the organization does not take shape as promised.
What we have observed is that you will have your PVC, your verification will fail, but your name is on the voters register. So it's now left for the presiding officers to take your PVC. Of course, the leaders have said failed. Then they will not look. Now, in that case, they are doing what we call physical verification. So they will look at the photograph on the PVC and compare it to what they have on the voters register. And as at that point, they can now accredit. So that has been the challenge because a lot of them, the first set of people that came, the verification failed. And the presiding officers were like, what do we do?
On the voters register.
On the voters register.
As accreditation commences across the country, the EU Managing Director for Africa, Mr. Nick Westcott, believes that the election process will turn out to be peaceful and violence-free. Mr. Westcott